It is exactly 8:53 a.m. Welcome back. And we are now going to be talking with the National Taxi Association, National Taxi Alliance regarding tomorrow's supposed um, planned marches. And I think some people are also misunderstanding, misinterpreting the shutdowns tomorrow, thinking that there won't be transport available to get to work, and also maybe afraid of the type of mayhem that might result with all of the uncertainty around tomorrow's anti-migration marches. Let's talk to Theo Malele. He is the spokesperson for the National Taxi Alliance. A very good morning to you, Theo. Welcome to the program. And you are going to talk to us about your commitment as the NTA to business as usual for tomorrow.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes. Sorry. Tomorrow it's business as usual. Basically, when people go to marches, they too need transport to go to assembly points. So we will be providing that kind of service, and we also have essential workers that needs to go to work, regardless. They too need transport. So and people should appreciate that the taxi industry is still limping from the effects of the COVID-19 that had a negative impact. And this is further exacerbated by the recent geopoliticals between the war between Iraq and America that has actually, pushed the fuel price to unprecedented proportions. And that has a negative effect on, or impact rather, or on our revenue stream. That squeezes our margins, and this actually chokes us when time comes for us to meet our monthly financial obligations. A lot of taxi operators have lost their vehicles in the past as a result of failing to meet these obligations. Look, we really are appreciative of what the society is doing in quelling illegality. As an industry, we too are against, illegal migration. We cannot condone illegal activities within the country. We would like to see the economy of the country improve, as ailing as it is currently. So we are of the view that we need to do every little thing in our power to ensure that we are able to stay afloat as an industry.
Okay, I will tell you one of my own personal concerns. I have a helper that lives on the West Rand, and I asked her about, coming to work tomorrow. And she said to me, she needs the money, obviously. We all do. That's why we come to work. But she said it was totally dependent on the taxi situation. Obviously, I've sent her the communication, and I'm hoping she will forward it on to people in her area. But there are growing concerns that there might be outbreaks of violence, and that's the reason why people are afraid and uncertain about whether they should be attending work tomorrow or not. That does, as you've indicated, have a direct impact on the taxi association, because you are transporting people from home to work and vice versa. How far reaching has your communication gone out regarding the working people in the townships?
We've used platforms like Good Selves to ensure that we spread this message wide. And we also have within ourselves internal communication strategies. We've got group WhatsApps that reaches all 9 provinces where we have memberships. And everybody that has to do with the National Taxi Alliance knows about our intent. And I am also confident, yeah, that even our counterparts, they were given free mileage. They were riding on the wings of SAP as the other day on television, I think on SABC TV, putting forth their intent of, uh, forging links with SAPS and tomorrow being treated as a normal business day. So yeah, so we basically are, synergizing here in that aspect.
And clearly, it's not only the taxi industry that is going to feel the repercussions of mass stayaways tomorrow. People are afraid of their safety, so they may not go to work. But the ripple effect is going to be huge on the economy because it's businesses that are directly affected. And no show, no work, no pay. No pay means you can't go and do your shopping, buy your essentials. So the ripple effect is quite impactful.
Yes, it is going to be very, very difficult. Look, you can imagine if everybody is not going to work, what happens to those that won't be feeling well, that would need, medics? What happens to people that need to eat? What happens to people that need services like electricity, they need water, and there are many, activities that cannot be stagnated, lest we are short-sighted, because this will also have a direct impact on the very intention of us as trying to, get rid of illegal migrants.
Finally, your advice to people regarding showing up for work tomorrow. What would you say to them about their safety as far as utilizing taxi services as their mode of transport?
Look, the South African police services and all other law, enforcement agencies have a responsibility to ensure that there is safety within the country. And we, as an industry, we also have a responsibility to ensure that we move people safely from one point to the other, and we do so peacefully. Let people go out there, do their marches. Look, before we become taxi operators, we are also, part of the citizenry of the country, and would like people to do things peacefully, so that at the end of the day, we achieve our objective of exerting pressure on the government instead of damaging what we already have. I mean, that would be very barbaric. I must just say, damaging the infrastructure. It is our only place we call home, so we cannot afford to actually make things become worse. We cannot afford that. But people, taxis will be available in the morning, throughout the day, and even coming back from work in the evening, you still have our service.
Theo Malele, National Taxi Alliance spokesperson, thank you indeed. Reassuring us that it will be pretty safe. Taxis will be operating as usual if you plan on going to work, and you should do. Tomorrow, the taxi services are up and running at your service as usual. So we all pray for a very peaceful day tomorrow. We do hope that the marches will be peaceful and that the rest of us will be able to get to and from work, from home to work and back home safely, and be able to do a day's work. Thank you. God bless. It is exactly 3 after 9 o'clock.
Jazakallah.